Hey everyone, Corey here again. For this video, I wanted to do something that was a bit different from the last video. Simply, I wanted to talk about what my personal favourite movies are. And the way I'm going to do this is, I'm going to do a top 5 favourite movies. I'm going to talk about each one for a little bit, state why I like it, and generally some information about the film, and then I'll move on to the next one. This list may contain spoilers, but it probably won't, and it's all my personal opinion. So yeah, let's get on with the list. So starting off at number 5 is the film Whiplash, directed by Damien Chazelle. It stars the really talented Miles Teller and J.K. Simmons. One word I have to describe this film is intense. Think of a teacher training a student, like that sort of film, like a Karate Kid sort of thing, except it's taken to the absolute extreme. The basic plot is that Miles Teller's character wants to become the best drummer he possibly can. He wants to be one of the greats. He doesn't want to be a nobody, basically. So J.K. Simmons' character Fletcher seeks him out because he sees him playing, and then he recruits him into his band group. That's all I'm going to say about it, because anything further than that might go into spoiler territory. I will say this though, Simmons' character, you'll either love him or hate him. He is such a prick in this movie, especially for Teller's character. And it serves as a really good motivation source for Teller's character. But the thing is, it's kind of controversial in the sense where you really wonder, is Fletcher, J.K. Simmons' character's teachings, are they good or bad for Teller's character and for anyone in general? Is it a good way to teach someone to become one of the greats in the music industry? That's what I think is the biggest question this movie asks. Oh, it's so fucking good. The score is great, the performances are phenomenal, and the story and themes of this film are just unbelievable. And also, Chazelle has really good shot composition in this movie. It looks beautiful. There's a reason why this one is one of my favourites. Whiplash is great. Next, at number 4, is the Marvel Cinematic Universe film Avengers Infinity War, directed by the Russo brothers. In short, this is the best Marvel Cinematic Universe film ever made. I'll say though, before you see it, at least watch the first 2 Avengers movies and Thor Ragnarok before you see this one. But anyway, the basic plot is that the Mad Titan Thanos is seeking the 6 Infinity Stones, and the Avengers plus the Guardians of the Galaxy must stop him before he exterminates half of all the universe's life. The plot is really simple, but it doesn't matter in this. This film is an event. Like I said, it's the best MCU film. It actually has stakes, unlike most of the other ones. And the performances are on point. Robert Downey Jr. is great as usual, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth. And who absolutely steals the show is James Brolin as Thanos. He is legendary in this. He is the best Marvel film I've seen in years. His performance is just great, and the CGI on Thanos is fantastic. I thought Thanos would just be a regular villain in this movie, but he's like Heath Ledger's Joker, more on him later, in the sense that he steals the show in this movie. Avengers Infinity War is amazing. I'm not going to say much more about it, but it's currently my favourite movie of 2018. If you like action and comic book movies, check this one out. Moving on to number 3. Why so serious? Hands down the worst Heath Ledger Joker impression ever. But anyway, number 3 is Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. There are so many video essays, theories, analysis, whatever on this movie, and there's a reason it's that fucking good. In my opinion, it's the best comic book film ever made. And what I love about it is, despite the fact it's in that genre, it's so brutally realistic that what goes on in that film could very well happen in real life, despite the fact it's Batman versus the Joker. So the basic plot of this film is, it's obviously set after Batman Begins, and Batman and Bruce Wayne must stop the ensuing chaos of the Joker, while also trying to prevent the declining insanity of Harvey Dent. And that's basically it. A lot more goes on in the film, but that's the basic plot. The performances in this movie are some of the best I've ever seen on screen. I really can't say what already hasn't been said about Heath Ledger's Joker. That performance was just legendary, and Heath Ledger's passing was so sad. He was the fucking Joker in that film, and he stole the show. Best villain in movie history. But Christian Bale is spectacular as always as Batman. He's my personal favourite on-screen Batman. Michael Caine is great, and Aaron Eckhart is really underrated as Harvey Dent / Two-Face. This film is loved by pretty much everyone, well, except a few, but anyway. And again, it's just that good. Like, I honestly can't think of any negatives in this film. It's enthralling from start to finish. The shot composition is excellent. Hans Zimmer's soundtrack, oh, it's just fantastic. The action is kick-ass from beginning to finish. And it's just a beautiful film altogether. And despite being a Batman film, it treats its audience like proper adults, and it takes its universe seriously, which allows us, the viewers, to take it seriously as well. The Dark Knight is just fantastic. Enough said. Now, at number 2 is the film that I like to call The Feels Machine, because I relate to it on such a personal level. The Perks of Being a Wallflower, directed by Steven Chbosky. He not only directed this movie, but this is actually a film adaptation of the novel which he also wrote by the same name. I think that's a really impressive feat, to be honest. Perks stars the excellent acting trio of Emma Watson, Logan Lerman and Ezra Miller, who play Sam, Charlie and Patrick respectively. The film mainly focuses on Logan Lerman's character Charlie, who, despite being a regular teenager all around, he has a few mental issues because of stuff that happened to him in the past. The film focuses on his first year of high school, junior year, and the fact that he starts it quite lonely without having any friends, but then after he meets Sam and Patrick, Emma Watson and Ezra Miller's character, the film takes a complete 180, and it just becomes a simple slice of life movie with teenage drama, teenage comedy, and just a really accurate portrayal of teenage life in general. And that's why I love the film so much and that I relate to it so much. It's a no bullshit, no sugarcoat, and no melancholy 13 Reasons Why portrayal of teenage life, and it's just great in doing that. The romance between Sam and Charlie is just excellent as well. It's believable and it draws the audience in, also with the friendship of Charlie and Patrick. This film is fantastic and I can't recommend it enough, especially to teenagers and people around my age. Definitely check Perks of Being a Wallflower out. You won't regret it. At last, we have number 1. Not only do I consider this to be my favourite film I've ever seen, but I also think it's one of the most underrated movies in the past 20 years. This is Adam Elliott's animated masterpiece, Marion Max. Where do I even begin? The stop motion animation is beautiful. The style is so unique in this film, but it fits the world and characters well. The voice acting is top notch. The musical score, the soundtrack is top notch. It's just fantastic. So Marion Max is truly a film about undying friendship. That's the core theme of the film. And the plot of this starts when a lonely 6-year-old girl that lives in Australia, Mary, finds a random name in the yellow pages and writes a letter to that name, Max J. Horowitz. This Max guy is a 40-year-old man who lives in America. He, like Mary, doesn't have friends either, and he's on the autism spectrum. He has Asperger's. What starts after Mary sends her first letter to Max is an unusual but remarkable friendship between the two. That's honestly charming and entertaining to watch. There are so many conflicting themes in this film, including, like I said, undying friendship, but also depression, anxiety, isolation, even love and marriage, autism, and just how funny but cruel society and the world as a whole can be at times. While the themes I just mentioned about this film can be quite complex, the plot sounds really simple. This is done on purpose. It's done to show nothing but the friendship that Mary and Max have, hence why that's the title of the film. I really can't do this film enough justice. There is a lot of reasons why I love it so much. Like I mentioned at the start of this entry, those things I've mentioned, like the story, music, animation, performances, they're all fantastic. Mary is played by 2 actresses. Bethany Whitmore when she's 6 years old, and when Mary is at her adult stage, she's played by Toni Collette. 2 fantastic actresses, voice actresses that give stellar performances. Max is played by the late Philip Seymour Hoffman, may he rest in peace. But I honestly think this is his best performance, his best voice acting performance anyway. And Adam Elliott's directing style, I love it. I love how unique it is, I love how stylistic it is, but it's also relatively simple. It's not pretentiously stylistic. This film is just beautiful from the very start to the very end. And the feels I got at the very end of the fucking movie, just damn. Not only did I tear up, I cried. Marion Max is so underrated that it hurts me inside. While Pixar films are fantastic, they do overshadow films like this one sometimes. And that is honestly unfair to a film with as much heart and soul as this one. If you want a truly unique movie that's unlike any other, that is simply about friendship and nothing else, Mary and Max is the film for you. It is obviously my favourite film that I've seen, and it's a masterpiece. A 10 out of 10 masterpiece, at least in my opinion. Great story, animation, music, pacing. It's one of those perfect films with nothing wrong with it. Mary and Max, thank God you exist, because you're unfucking believable. You're an amazing movie. And that's the list. you know, I'm kind of shocked that I was able to pin it down to just 5 movies, but see, I wanted to focus on these movies or talk a little bit into them, so that hopefully you want to check them out as well. Hopefully some of these films might be on Netflix for you Netflix and chillers out there, but if you can check any of these 5 titles out, do. They are fantastic. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll see you in the next